Okay. Hello, everybody. You guys are so low energy. Everyone's like, this is gonna be a fun class. I'm gonna have to make it hard to get everyone's heart rate up. Okay. As always, be mindful of your body. As we move through class today, make sure that you are doing what feels good to you and that you are being responsible for any injuries or any issues that you have in your body, especially online. For those of you who I cannot see very well because you're very tiny or the camera is off, and so I cannot give corrections. So be mindful. If we're doing something that doesn't feel good to your body today, do something else that we did earlier that you liked instead, and just try to keep moving so we keep the blood flowing and we keep the endurance going as we go, but still just being mindful of your body and being kind to yourself. Yeah? Okay, let's go ahead and stand up. Feet in parallel, hip width apart, near the front of your mat. Okay, we're going to do mostly fundamentals, a little sprinkle in of some intermediate work today. Pull up through the crown of the head. Take your weight even between the front and the back of the foot, and you can kind of shift your weight forward a little bit and shift your weight back just to be sure exactly what the middle of the foot feels like. Make sure you have equal weight between the inside and the outside of the foot, and feel free to roll in a little and then roll out a little on the foot so you can feel that difference, and then stop right in the middle. Pull up from the backs of the knees. Think of that activity in the legs. So for those of you who can hyperextend the knees, make sure you're lifting those legs into a straight line, not into a locked knee or into hyperextension, but a straight line. We're going to take an inhale through the nose. On your exhale, start to take your head down, not all the way chin to chest, leave a little space there, and then go through your upper back. As you roll through the upper back, make sure the shoulder blades don't join you and roll forward like this. We want to keep the collarbones flat across the chest. Bend your knees as you go through that low back. Hinge forward, fingertips to the floor. Relax your head and neck. There is a natural response of the body to kind of look down at the mat. Try to relax your neck. Look through your thighs at the wall behind you. Through your thighs at the wall behind you, relaxing that neck. Take an inhale here. And on your exhale, keep your knees bent as you scoop your abs in, your tailbone down. Keep the knees bent as you stack the pelvis. Now straighten the legs before you roll the spine back up. Inhale. Exhale, roll down from the crown of the head, the upper back, articulating through that back, the mid back. Bend your knees as you go through the low back so we take the pressure off of that spine and hinge forward. And in this position, those knees should be bent, but not really bent, but a good nice soft bend. Relax your head and neck, look through your thighs, and now scoop those abdominals in, biasing your weight forward to the toes slightly so you feel those abdominals and those hamstrings really working to restack your body. One vertebra at a time. Nice big inhale. Exhale, roll down from the crown of the head, the upper back, the mid back. Bend the knees, slowly shifting the weight more to the toes. Inhale at the bottom, and exhale, scoop those abs in, rounding the spine. Slowly restacking upright, weight even on the feet. From here, we're going to take a bit of a curtsy. One leg behind you, onto the knee, and then sit. With your sits bones down, knees bent, feet flat. We're going to start with a sort of unofficial BASI warm-up that Rael likes to use. We pull up nice and tall through the crown of the head, giving yourself some support with your hands so you're not just in your low back right now. I want you to use your abs and your arms to help you kind of rock upright onto the tallest point of your sits bones, as opposed to staying back here where we're sort of on the tailbone. You want to come up as tall as you can. From here, we're going to round the spine. Draw the belly button in to that imprint, rounding the back. And then come back upright, lengthening through the crown of the head. Exhale, scoop the abs in. Imagine that you're pushing your low back into a yoga ball behind you, and then lengthen through the crown of the head up onto those sits bones. One more time, we round the spine. Matching the curve of the low back. You try to be conservative with the upper back and not just collapse. And then lengthen back upright onto the sits bones. Take the hands away, palms facing each other, arms shoulder height. We're going to round the spine again. Nice C curve. And this is where we're really practicing that C curve, where you have the shoulders are back, so we're not pushing the collarbones forward. We're matching the shape of our low back. So whatever shape your low back makes, that's the curve for the rest of the spine. And we're keeping the head lifted away from your thighs, so we're not dropping the face down. And then from here, lengthen and lift the fingertips up into a straight back position. Allow the knees to open a little just to create more room in those hips. Open the arms to the side and then scoop the abdominals, the arms, and the legs back to neutral. This time we're going to roll back. Just a little. Only as far as you feel comfortable. And exhale, come forward. Lengthen those arms up. Open the knees slightly. Open the chest. And then draw that energy back in front of you, and we roll back. And you can take this as far back as you'd like. If you want to go all the way down to here, you can. Or if you're not really quite that warm yet, you don't have to. You can keep it small. Open the chest, round the spine. This is my second class of the day, so I'm nimble in the spine. I'm moving. And roll forward. And lengthen and lift up, open the chest. Open the arms, scoop the arms and legs back in. And from here, we're going to roll down. Take your hands behind your thighs, and you're going to slowly roll down. Just glide the feet with you. Place the feet down flat, and then lower your arms, your head and chest, and open the shoulders along the mat. So you want to feel those upper arms not squishing down on the mat, but lightly, firmly active against the mat. From this position, those feet should still be hip width apart, about that fist width distance, that sits bone width between the feet. We're going to inhale through the nose. On your exhale, draw the belly button into your spine. Don't move the pelvis yet. Stay in that natural or neutral spine. And just hug the waist with your transverse abdominals. And now on this next inhale, I want you to breathe into your rib cage, not into your belly. So we go into that lateral breathing. We inhale. And we exhale. And that might feel restrictive at first if we're a little tight in the ribs. Inhale. And exhale. Think of breathing out and the chest and the ribs expanding out 360 degrees around that body. So we're breathing laterally, we're breathing into the mat, we're breathing into the chest, and we exhale. All without letting go of those abdominals. One more. And on this exhale, go into your imprint. Imprinting that lumbar spine. Using only the abdominals, and then relax the pelvis as you rock back to your neutral spine. Again, we exhale, draw those abs down into the table and imprint that lumbar spine. And then back to your neutral pelvis, little space underneath that low back. Inhale. Exhale, draw those abs in. Make sure you're only using your abdominals and not pushing with your legs. You should feel that the pelvis feels heavy. When you draw those abs in, it should be work to move that pelvis. And inhale back to your center. And now we take it up into pelvic curl. Exhale, draw those abs in. As much of this movement with the abdominals as possible. And now put the weight into your feet and start to peel the pelvis up. Strive for that hip extension as soon as possible. Get the knees forward and then articulate the spine up. Those arms are active underneath you. We inhale here and we exhale, peel back down through the thoracic spine and the mid back, through the lumbar spine, that low back. Relax the glutes and the legs and rock back to neutral. If that bothered your knees, you can always walk the feet forward a teensy bit, see if you can get a little more room in that knee joint. Inhale. Exhale, only the abs, not the legs. You can really see and feel the difference in the movement quality when you use the legs. It looks forced, it looks too aggressive, and you usually will feel yourself shift back on the mat as well. So if you're shifting backwards, be aware of maybe we're overusing those legs. And then peel up, push the feet down, draw the knees forward over those ankles, lift up into that hip extension, and then just adapt the rest of the spine into a straight line. Nice big inhale. And exhale. Keep that hip extension for as long as you can as you roll down, articulating through each vertebra, one at a time. And back to neutral. Inhale. Exhale, draw those abdominals in to your spine. Peel the tailbone up, followed by the sacral bone, and the low back, and the mid back, and a little bit of that upper back. Inhale. Exhale, put the upper back down, and the mid back, and the low back. The glutes and hamstrings are the last thing to relax, followed by those abdominals. One more, inhale. Exhale, draw those abs in to that imprint. Peel the spine up. Keep the weight biased more towards the inside of those feet so that as you roll up, especially at the top of the range, we're keeping those adductors on. We're not letting the knees splay out away from each other. Put the weight on the inside of those feet. And then roll back down. Nice and slow. And back to neutral. From here, take those arms up to the ceiling, palms in towards each other, and then open the arms out into a T position and hold. Draw those abdominals in to protect the low back. We take one leg to tabletop, followed by your second leg. Knees are over the hips, shins are parallel to the floor, and we inhale into spine twist supine. Let's go away from me first. Rolling that pelvis to the side, keeping your opposite shoulder blade down, and we exhale through your imprint. Inhale, twist towards me this time. And exhale. Try to keep the sensation of this imprint as you go into your rotation. It's not a big tuck, but you want to think of that hollowing of the abdominals, that imprinting of the low back. And keep that sensation of that imprint as you twist. And exhale, back to center. It's about the control, making sure the knees don't change. So we don't want to lift the feet. We don't want to drop the feet. I like to imagine a little string from my heels to my sits bones, or a ball between the heels and my sits bones. So that I cannot change the height of my feet. And exhale, back to center. Once more towards me, we twist, wringing out that spine like you'd wring out a towel. And back to center. Place one foot down and the other foot down. Interlace the fingers together, webbing to webbing, hands behind the head. on that occipital bone. So we want to make sure we're not putting our hands on our neck. We're also not too high up onto the head. You want to be cradling kind of the bottom of the skull without touching the neck. Thumbs with the family. Neutral spine. Take an inhale here. On your exhale, lift your chest into chest lift. Leave your head weight back in your hands, eyes on the knees. And let's do a little variation. We're going to grab the thighs, give ourselves a little boost with those arms. And this is to just get a little more stretch in the back. See if you've got a little more lift available. Check your pelvis to make sure you didn't push your pubic bone up to the ceiling. We want the pelvis anchored, and we want to lift into that imprint just by getting that deep into your spinal flexion. Now take the hands away to the knees. Keep the height, hands to the ceiling. Keep the height as you take the hands behind your head. Keep the height as you rest your head weight back into your hands. And now lower the head and chest back down. That's my favorite moment of that variation, is putting my head weight back in my hands. Inhale. Exhale, lift the chest bone towards the thighs. Your goal is to get up to the height that you know you can achieve. Let's double check. Take your hands behind the thighs. Give yourself a little boost. Hopefully, we're already as high as we can go. Take the hands away to the knees. Hands to the ceiling. And then hands behind the head. Rest your head weight back and lower the head and chest back down. Remember, this is called chest lift, right? Not nose lift or head lift. You want to lead with your chest bone. Exhale, chest lifts off of the table. Your head follows. This time, let's stay. Hands behind the head. Inhale. And exhale, lower back down. So no more variation. Now just chest lift. Inhale. Exhale, lead with the chest. Leaving your head weight in your hands. You want those arms active. And exhale, lower. If you can get your shoulder blades off the mat, then that's excellent. The higher your chest lift is, the more you will feel your abdominals and not your neck. And exhale, lower down. On this next one, we're going to stay. Inhale. Exhale, lift the head and chest. And maintain. We stay. Inhale. Exhale, rotate into chest lift with rotation away from me. Back to center. And rotate towards me. And back to center. Watch that you don't just roll from shoulder blade to shoulder blade here. You want to lift your chest and then point your chest bone just outside of your thigh. So we're reaching just to the outside of the thigh bone. Then we're realigning with the knees. And then we're reaching just to the outside of that thigh bone and back to the knees. So you want to make sure that you're not excessively twisting and losing the height. Back to center. And exhale. And inhale, center. Let's do a few more. Reaching the chest bone to the thighs. And exhale, reach. Make sure nothing is changing at the pelvis and that the legs aren't shifting from side to side. The pelvis isn't tucking or twisting or tilting. Let's do once more towards me. Back to center. Lower the head and chest back down. Circle the arms around by your sides. Neutral pelvis. Arms relaxed. Head and neck relaxed. Tilt your head side to side. If you have any neck tension, hopefully we were able to maintain that relaxed neck, but if not, we'll just turn the head a couple times and then pause in the middle. We're going to take the leg furthest from me up to tabletop. Take that knee slightly past your hip crease, and we're going to go into single leg lift. We lower the thigh bone down, tap the foot, exhale, lift. Feel the weight of your thigh and your whole leg as you lift it. Feel the weight of the leg. Inhale. And exhale, lift. Staying neutral in the pelvis, neutral in the spine. Lower, tap, exhale, lift. Place the foot down next to your other foot. And now take the leg closest to me, to tabletop, and then slightly beyond it. We inhale, lower. Tap the foot, exhale, lift. Make sure you're only moving from the ball and socket joint and that we are not moving the knee. So we lower the thigh bone, we maintain the pelvic position. Inhale down. We exhale, maintain. Last one, tap. Exhale, lift. We're going to make it a little harder and go into leg changes. Before you lift your second leg, make sure you're not imprinting that spine and that we have that nice neutral position. Draw those abs in a little more firmly, and we'll switch those legs back and forth. Exhale, switch. Bias towards keeping the legs a little further away from you so that you don't try and tuck them towards you. This is going to cause you to go into an imprint. So you really want to feel the weight of the thighs past the pelvis. You want to feel the abdominals maintaining and stopping the body from arching away from the ground. So make sure those abdominals are active. They're doing their job to stabilize you as you switch. And you switch. And you switch. And you switch. Take your legs together into tabletop. Squeeze those adductors. Take your arms up to the ceiling. You're going to keep the palms forward. Draw the shoulders down. Keep the ribs soft as you lift your arms overhead towards the wall behind you. From here, watch that the ribs do not flare to the ceiling. We want that mid-back actively down on the mat. From here, we exhale. Take the arms up over the shoulders again. Pause the arms as you lift your head and chest. So now the arms are at an angle, and we lower those arms down parallel to the ground. And take the arms up. And lower the head and chest, and reach the arms back. Exhale, 100 prep, arms. Head and chest, arms. Never both at the same time, always one or the other. Arms move, head and chest lowers, the arms move. And you want that to flow and be smooth. So you don't really notice that pattern unless you've got a trained eye. But we can see it. Exhale, arms, head and chest, arms. And take the arms up. Lower the head and chest and reach back. Remember to get up high in that chest lift. Arms, head and chest up as high as you can, and then arms down. And take the arms up. Lower the head and chest and reach back. We're going to go into 100. I want you to straighten your legs on this next rep to an angle that you can maintain for a while. We're going to take the arms up, lift the head and chest, and straighten those legs out. It could be here. It could be here, right? Whatever is doable for you. We exhale, pulse, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale. Remember to keep those abdominals drawn in. And exhale, keep those pulses small and the chest up high. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale. Last ones. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Tabletop. Lift the arms, lower the head and chest, and reach the arms overhead. Glide one leg out straight and the other leg out straight. Take a big stretch. I will allow you to indulge in a nice big rib flare to the ceiling for a moment just to get that abdominal stretch. And then put those ribs back down. Circle the arms around by your sides. Make sure that in this supine position, you want those hip bones pulled up towards you. If you're tight in the hip flexors or in the quads, you may be kind of stuck in a back arch. Make sure that those abdominals are drawn in, the hip bones are drawn up, and that we are not allowing ourselves to lay with the big arch underneath us. From here, we're going to take one leg to tabletop. Let's do the leg furthest from me to tabletop. And now extend it to the ceiling. Let's give ourselves a little hamstring stretch and grab the thigh. Just pull that leg closer, flex that foot and hold. Hold, hold, and then adapt so that the knee is right over the hip again. Take the arms away. If you have to bend your knee in this position, that's fine. I'd rather the knee be stacked over that hip. Dorsiflex, so your foot is being pulled towards your pelvis, and we're going to go across your body first. Go across the midline towards me, down, around, and up. Again, exhale. Inhale, circle. Exhale, circle. This is an abdominal exercise, even though it is called leg circles, but we want the pelvis still. The abdominals are doing stability. It's okay if this is tiny, teeny tiny, that's fine. Do not make this bigger than you can control. Pause at the top, reverse your circles, around and up, and around and up. Inhale, circle. Exhale, circle. Make sure that bottom leg is long and active on the ground and not externally rotated. You want a parallel leg. 2, and 1, and pause. Point your foot. Bend your knee. Glide your leg out straight. Reach that leg long next to the other leg. Notice how much longer that leg feels. I'm going to take the leg closest to me up to tabletop. Extend that leg to the ceiling and then pull that leg towards you into a little hamstring stretch and dorsiflex, pulling your foot towards your chest, and hold. Hold, hold. As you flex, this is nitpicking a little bit, but try not to pull the toes towards you so much. Try to relax the toes in neutral and pull the foot, the ankle, into dorsiflexion, not so much the toes into flexion. From here, stack the knee over the hip, and then we go into our circle, our leg circles across the body first. Inhale, across the body, exhale. Inhale, circle, and exhale, circle. And it's okay if this is small. Inhale, and exhale. 2, and 1, and reverse. Around and up. Nice and controlled. No movement coming from the pelvis. If you're not sure if your pelvis is moving, you can make a little triangle here and really watch. And inhale. Pause at the top. Point your foot. Bend your knee. Glide your leg out straight. Reach those legs long. Both legs feeling the same length again. Draw the belly button to your spine and reach your arms to the ceiling. Palms in. Let's mobilize the shoulder blades a little bit. We're going to reach, glide the scapula up to the ceiling. Collarbones off the chest. Now glide the scapula back down just till you feel your shoulder blades touch the mat. Glide the scapula up, and then glide the scapula down. And reach those arms, and glide. Keeping your shoulders away from your ears as you go. So we want to avoid hiking the shoulders up towards the ears. And keep those shoulders down as you glide forward and back. Pause with the shoulder blades touching the mat. Now take the arms overhead, just to your range that is available, drawing the abs in. From here, we go into roll up. We're going to take the arms up. Lift the head and chest. Lower the arms parallel to the ground. That's your inhale. From here, we exhale as we peel the spine deeper into that C curve, and then we hinge forward. From this position, we want the shoulders over the hip crease. The eyes are on the thighs. And I want you to pretend that your arms are the top line of water. Like you're in a pool of water and your arms are the top of the water. Do not put your head in the water. Keep your head up and your face lifted above the height of your arms. From here, we roll down, keeping your head above water as we roll all the way down. And then articulate, sending the arms back. Again, inhale. Exhale. Once you set the arms, you keep the head up above those arms, looking at the knees. Inhale. Exhale, roll down. Keeping those arms parallel to the ground. And then take the arms up, head and chest down, arms overhead. Again, inhale, arms, head and chest, arms, and we peel up. This C curve, by the way, if we pause here for another moment, we should be matching the line of the low back. And I want you to make sure you're not just dropping and you're sinking into this position. We want to use those back extensors to keep your torso lifted and the C curve in a nice symmetrical shape. Exhale, roll back. Scooping from the pelvis, hinging your C curve back. Once the low back touches down, then we lift the arms, lower the head and chest, and reach back. Inhale. If you're unable to feel that low back touch here, check to make sure you're not rocked forward in your pelvis. Pull those hip bones up. Make sure you're in a neutral pelvis. Inhale. Exhale, roll down. Very common, especially when we roll down, for the pelvis to stop moving too soon. Really draw that pelvis all the way to neutral. Now lower down and reach back. Inhale, arms, head and chest, arms. Bending the knees if you need to roll up. Do not use momentum. If you use momentum to kick or you let your feet come up, then it will never get stronger. You will always be kicking or throwing yourself up into that roll up. So in order to really feel that, we want to inhale. This is our last one. And then if you need to bend the knees, then now we really feel the work in the same way that we would if we didn't have to bend those knees. From here, let's lengthen the spine up. Flex those feet, separate the feet just outside your shoulder width, just barely outside your shoulder width apart. For most of us, that's going to be just inside the mat width, roughly. Flex those feet. If you need to bend the knees here to get upright on your sits bones, please do, because we don't want to be in a rounded spine position. You want to be flat in the back. So if that means bending the knees a little bit or a lot of bit, that is fine by me, as long as we're tall and we're prioritizing this straight back. I want you to imagine that you're lengthening your spine up a wall and you're sitting up against a wall. And if you're at home and you have a wall easily accessible, you could try leaning up against a literal wall. We're going to take an inhale and we're going to exhale. Peel your head just a few inches away from that wall, and then your upper back and your mid back. Feel the imprint of the low back and then roll forward. And now if this is where our range of motion ends with our hamstrings, then we come back up and we just restack that spine. One vertebra at a time, restacking and coming back upright. Inhale. Exhale, roll down, peeling away from the wall, one vertebra at a time. And if you have more room in your hamstrings here and your legs are straight, then you can hinge at the hip joints to roll forward more. And on your exhale, you just reset that pelvis and then restack your spine up that imaginary or perhaps literal wall if you were able to find one. Inhale. Exhale, articulating one vertebra at a time. And I'd like you to keep the arms lifted just enough so that they're not touching the floor, but you're also not shrugging into your shoulders. You really want to keep your upper traps relaxed. And exhale, roll up. So as long as you're able to keep the burn in the deltoid and you feel these shoulder flexors are the ones working and not your neck, then we're good. Otherwise, you may need to take the arms a little lower to get out of those shoulders. Hinging forward if you've got the range. Keeping those hands off the floor. We exhale, roll yourself up one vertebra at a time and pulling up tall. Bring your legs together. Plantar flex the feet. Bend your knees and grab your ankles. Pull those legs close to you. Collarbones flat. Legs squeezed together. Each hand individually on its own ankle, so we are not interlacing the fingers or collectively holding the legs with both hands. We're one hand to one leg. Draw the abdominals in, and we're going to go into roll like a ball in a moment, but before we roll backwards, I want you to try to tuck your pelvis underneath you as much as you can without rolling until you absolutely have to come back up. So rather than trying to force it and lean backwards, intentionally rolling, I want you to do it by tucking the pelvis under you and scooping deeper into that C curve until you naturally roll back. And again, tuck the pelvis. And we roll back. When you roll, make sure those feet stay close to you, so we don't want to kick the ceiling. We also want to only roll to the shoulder blades. So as I roll, I'm stopping right about at my shoulder blades or mid-back, and I'm not letting my head touch the floor. Inhale back. A pro tip for you, do not look at the ceiling at any point. If you look at the ceiling, it's all over. You're either not coming back up or you're going to hit your head on the mat table. Keep your eyes on your thighs. We inhale, roll back. Let's do one more. Inhale. Pause here. From this position, lift your legs, shins parallel to the ground, and flatten the back. If you need to use your hands to help you lengthen, go for it. We're going to take the arms away if we're able, and then go into teaser prep. You're going to round your spine by scooping your belly, and maybe this is where we stop, and then we come right back up. That's fine. Maybe we can take it a little farther, and we round the spine, and then we go down just as far as you can. Do not go past the point of no return. The point of no return is when you cannot come back up. So only go as far down as you can maintain, and back up. And exhale. When you're at the bottom and you find it's a little hard to come up, instead of using momentum, squeeze your adductors and squeeze those legs together. Really helps you draw into those abdominals, into that pelvic floor. Whoops. Inhale. Pause here. Bend your knees and take yourself onto your low back. Take a moment to hug those knees to your chest. Rest your head and neck down. Hopefully we were not stuck in the low back for too much of that, but that is one of the hardest teasers, is teaser prep. So ideally, we're not in that low back, but if we were, roll it out a little bit, give ourselves a little stretch, because it is very challenging. And now from here, hands on the shins, high up on the shins, lift your head and chest, pulling your chest up towards your thighs. And I want you to push your legs into your hands, then pull your chest to your thighs with your arms. So we are lifted nice and high, so you can kind of relax the neck. From here, we go into double leg stretch. Send the legs out straight and the arms overhead. Exhale, draw back in. Inhale, reach. And exhale in. Every time you grab those legs, go ahead and give yourself a little boost and make sure that you're as lifted as you can be. Inhale, reach. Exhale in. Both hands to the leg towards me. Send your back leg out straight. I want your inside hand on the knee, your outside hand above that hand. Your feet are the same height as each other, and now we switch into single leg stretch. Draw the belly button in deeper. Use your arms and your hamstring on that bent leg to help you stay lifted. Take your hands behind your head, rotate towards me, towards your bent leg, and then pass through the middle, away from me. Interlock those fingers completely so you can rest your head in your hands. Give your neck a nice break. Give your abs an extra challenge. Exhale. Rotate. Keep those feet the same height. Back to center. Lower the head and chest. Set one foot down and the other foot down. Circle those arms around by your sides. And now from here, we are in our pelvic curl position. We're going to go ahead and scoop those abs in. Peel the tailbone up. Push your feet down into the mat as you restack that spine into a pelvic curl. Inhaling at the top and exhaling, articulating through the spine as you come back down through the imprint into neutral pelvis. Inhale. Exhale, draw those abs in. If you've taken my class before, you know I absolutely love coming back to pelvic curls in the middle of class. Once the body is warm, you really get a chance to feel it differently and feel your hamstrings and your spine working with you a lot more than they do in the beginning. I know it's a lot of brushing off the cobwebs with those first pelvic curls, and these ones feel so much deeper. You can really see the progress even just halfway through the session. Exhale, peel down. Relax the glutes and hamstrings. Let the abdominals take you back to neutral. We're going to come up to our bridge position one more time. All the way up. And stay. From here, we take the leg furthest from me, up into our shoulder bridge prep position. We're going to lower just the thigh bone, tap the foot to the floor and lift. If you can't reach the floor without changing the pelvis or the spine, then don't go that far. Exhale up. Keep the hips nice and high. One more time, just do 5. Place that foot down. Fix your pelvis if you lost it, and then take your other leg up. Inhale, we lower down. Tap and then lift, keeping the pelvis lifted and scooped. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. One more, and tap, and lift. Place the foot down. Fix that pelvic curl. Abs in, hips high, roll down. One vertebra at a time. Rocking all the way through neutral spine. Take one leg to tabletop at a time. Squeeze the legs together. Extend your legs to the ceiling as best as you can. We're going to inhale into corkscrew. Go ahead and rotate away from me. And this can be small. You can go just down a little. Back to center. And now go towards me. Inhale, twist. Exhale, just a tiny little loop. Up, back to center. Make sure you're drawing a direct, straight line to the side, followed by a little semicircle and a straight line in. Inhale, twist. Keep those legs glued together, moving as one unit. Don't let those feet separate. Inhale, twist. One more time. Really keep your opposite shoulder blade and arm down. Last one towards me. Back to center. From here, bend your knees to tabletop. Hug your legs to your chest. Again, rocking side to side if needed. Let that low back go. And then from here, we're going to set one foot down. Actually, let's go to tabletop again. If you are comfortable going upside down into an inversion, we're going to go into rollover. If not, then take your feet back down and do some more pelvic curls. We're going to glide those legs out straight to a 60-degree angle. If you're not sure what we're doing, you can watch me first, but don't look to the side when you're upside down. Keep your head always nose pointed to the ceiling. But we're going to lift the legs to 90 degrees. From here, we exhale. Peel ourselves up. Pelvis is lifted towards the ceiling. I flex my feet. I separate my feet about shoulder width apart. We lower the legs only as much as your hamstrings will allow, and then we peel back down with control. Point to the ceiling, lower, reconnect. And with me this time, we inhale. Exhale. Keeping the lift and the support of the spine. Flex, separate, lower the feet, and then we roll down. Nice and slow. If you are already fully stretched at those hamstrings, then don't lower the feet. We inhale, lift. Exhale, up and over. Parallel to the ground. We go flex, separate, lower the feet, and peel down. Nice and slow. Point to the ceiling, lower, reconnect one more time. Inhale, 90. Exhale. Parallel to the ground with those legs. We flex, separate, lower those feet, and then roll down. Keeping those legs in a hamstring stretch. Point to the ceiling, lower, reconnect the feet, come back to your tabletop. Set one foot down at a time. From here, go ahead and roll onto your side facing me. Reach your legs out long. Rest your head on your bottom arm, which is outstretched. Palm up to the ceiling. Your top hand is resting for balance in front of you. We're going to scoop the abdominals up and in, lift the waist, lift your feet, and now from here, we exhale and we draw those abdominals into an imprint. And then lower the legs, but not all the way to the floor. So you keep those feet lifted. As you go, I want you to use your obliques here. Draw this hip up to the ribs. And then away. Exhale. Imprint that waist. And lower. Exhale. Abs. And lower. And be mindful that you're drawing that belly button to the spine. And if you're feeling a pinch in the back, make sure you're scooping those abs all the way in, a bias towards a posterior tilt. You may need to take the feet forward a little bit today to get out of that low back. But just think of that as a training wheel. And then over time, we get those legs in a straight line with the rest of the body. 2 more. And last one, exhale. And lower. From here, we're going to lift up onto our elbow. Fingertips behind the ear. Both hands up. We lift those abs. We lift your top leg parallel to the ground. From here, think of this as a lateral flexion rotation exercise, not so much a glute exercise. So lift your abs, balance with your abs, flex your foot to take it forward, little pulse, take it back, little pulse. You can move your torso slightly forward and back to adapt to that weight shift. Inhale. But I don't want you to move your pelvis forward and back or change the position of the spine. And back. So no flexing, no extending. Once more. Back to center. Lower that leg. Go ahead and come up, bending the knees, and then taking a little stretch for that arm. All the way up. Swing the legs around to the other side. And lay down. Still facing me. Rest your head on your bottom arm, palm up to the ceiling. Lift the waist. Take your hand down to the mat. Lift the feet. Draw that pubic bone up towards you and the back elongated behind you. Make sure this top hip is stacked directly above the bottom hip. And then we draw those abs into an imprint and away. And exhale, we draw those abs down. Inhale away. And again, you might need to take the feet forward slightly today if you're just too tight in the hip flexors to get out of that low back. But really think of the sits bones drawing towards the back of the knees and the belly button scooping in. And flexing the obliques on this side, really utilizing that lateral flexion. Keep the feet hovered, don't put them down. The legs stay glued together as one unit. One more. Exhale. And then from here, we lower the feet. We come up onto your elbow. Again, thinking of the stability and the lift of that trunk. Get that elbow underneath you enough to really get lifted. Elbow underneath you enough to get that rib cage way up off the ground. Like there's a big ball underneath you right here. Even closer to you. Yeah. And now from here, take your top hand up. Because if we're out here too far away, and for those of you at home who I can't really see, make sure that you're not all the way out here. This is not going to work for you. You need that elbow underneath you more. From here, we lift the top leg parallel to the ground. We flex the foot, we take it forward. Pulse, woo, we take it back. I almost fell over. Exhale, forward, pulse, and back. And again, we can use that sternum to shift forward and back slightly. But don't move your pelvis. Keep this nice and anchored, completely still. And pulse, and pulse. Take the leg back to center. Set the leg down. We're going to bend the knees and come up, and then stretch up and over towards your feet. Yeah, there you go. And we're going to come all the way upright. Take your hands flat, knees bent, facing the middle of the room where you were facing for your roll downs. Good. And we're going to find that scapular stability. Now, if you have wrist issues, we are going to be here for a little bit. So if you need to go to your fists, you can go to the fists like this, that's fine. You can also put the heels of your hands at the edge of your mat and kind of come closer to the front of the mat to do this. So the heel of the hand is elevated a little more with some cushion. Exhale, round your spine, your lumbar spine, into cat stretch. And try to get as much range out of the low back as you can. Be conservative with the upper back. Come back to center. Inhale, lengthen and lift through the crown of the head. Opening the chest. Try not to crank the head back. You want to keep a space along the back of the neck. And then come back to center. Exhale, round the spine into that lumbar flexion. Back to center. And inhale. And back to center. Exhale, round the spine. And back to center. Trying to make a nice even shape. So in this position, we could just drop into that lumbar spine, right? We have the availability, but we don't want to. We're going to scoop the abs in so that you feel this instead in your upper back. And then back to neutral. Scoop those abs in. Again, we could just arch and push into the upper back, but we're choosing not to because we're going more for the lumbar spine. Back to center. So we're showing a little bit of restraint on this one. Belly button to spine and lift. If you're not feeling your upper back in this position, it's probably because you're dropping the tailbone, or the belly button. So scoop the belly button up and up and up and up until you feel that upper back click on. And then back to center. From here, go ahead and sit back on the heels for a moment. Just give your low back a little break. Give your wrists a little break. If your head and neck are kind of tender today, you can let your head rest on the mat for a moment. Nice big inhale. And nice long exhale. And then come back up. Onto the hands and knees. From here, we're going to work the serratus anterior. This is the scapular stabilizer that's in front of your shoulder blade here that keeps you from sinking and collapsing. So we're going to do just that. We're going to, with control, to experiment, collapse the chest down towards the mat. Keep your arms strong and just kind of sink into your shoulder joint for a moment. And now push the mat away from you and feel that activity low on the armpit. We'll do one more time. You might even feel it shaking a little as you dip. And then push. Pause here. We're going to take one foot back, toes tucked forward. You should be almost in a calf stretch here. Toes forward towards you, fully dorsiflexed foot. Bias towards a posterior tilt. And now without changing the rest of your body, take your second leg back. Into front support we go. We glide the right knee in and out. The left knee in and out. Your knee must glide. If it doesn't, that means you've changed your position and we're not where we should be. 4 and 3 and 2. Last one, hold. Bend your elbows, lower yourself to the floor. Point your feet. Take your arms by your sides, palms to the thighs. Don't let your arms touch the ground. From here, we draw the belly button in. We lengthen those legs. We draw the sits bones down towards the heels, the pubic bone down towards the mat. The chest is heavy and the nose is hovering just a centimeter above the mat. From here, we inhale, lift your face away from the mat. Try not to look too far forward. Just keep lifting your face until you feel your chest also lift. Pause here. Exhale, lower down. Keeping the shoulder blades back and the arms off the ground. Inhale, the head and neck. Think of reaching out and up, and then peel up the chest. Keep your ribs on the mat. You should feel your upper back only, and then lower, back, down. So the goal is to stay out of this area along the back, out of this area. So if you just think of lifting your chest, immediately you're going to go to your low back. You have to think of peeling the spine up, articulating from the crown of the head, the upper back, maybe a little bit of the mid back, but not too much, and then back down. And again, inhale. This postural work is so, so important. Any back extension we do, we start here. We never want to go right to the low back. If you can't lift without going to your low back, just practice squeezing the shoulder blades together. And just do that part. Don't lift. Don't lift yet. And lower. Let's do one more. Inhale. And exhale down. From here, reach the arms around in front of you on the mat. Separate the legs, hip width apart. Draw those abdominals in. Actually, I changed my mind. Let's come up onto the elbows. Yeah, this feels better. Interlace those fingers together. Scoop those abs in, push the pubic bone down. I want you to think of growing tall through the crown of the head. And we could sink into the shoulders here, right? It's a possibility. But I want you to push that mat away from you. And you can do that a few times, just feeling the difference between sinking and pushing away. And feel the power in the shoulder girdle that you have now and keep it. Draw those abs in like you're trying to lift your belly off the mat. Lengthen and lift the legs. Think of the thighs coming up and then using those hamstrings to help draw the sits bones down. We're going to go into single leg kick. You're going to kick your right leg in, switch, left, left, right, right, left, left. And inhale. And inhale. Think of growing tall. Flex your abs. Lift your belly button off the mat. And exhale. Keep your head up. You can even pull your elbows in towards you to help push your chest forward. And inhale. Last one. Exhale. Straighten the legs. Lower the legs. Lower the head and chest. Take your forearms down by your sides. Palms flat. Elbows flat. Forearms on the mat. We're all going to push off of our elbows to lift the hips up and back, sitting on our heels. Good. Rest your forehead. Take a nice big inhale here. And a nice long exhale. With each breath, I want you to sink those sits bones down onto your heels more. And breathe into the tight spots of the back. The goal of this rest position is to release that low back, so we want those legs nice and close together. And we want to sit on those heels. However, if you have a knee or a hip thing, or this is uncomfortable for you, you can always open the knees a little bit, but just know that that might change the stretch to the hip joint. You might lose some of that in the back, but if that's more comfortable to breathe, or if that's more comfortable for your body for another reason, that is fine. Take one more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Come up onto the hands and knees. Tuck your toes underneath you and push up into a big up stretch or elephant position. Feet flat if you can, heels up if that's more comfortable. And we're going to go ahead and bend the knees and straighten the knees. Try to draw your shoulders away from your ears in this position. Be mindful of the scapular stability. Don't just push your shoulders to your ears. Create a little space there. And you can bend one knee and sink into the hip for a little stretch if you'd like. And the other side. Do it a couple times. Stay out of those shoulders. And now from here, we're going to bend those knees. On 3, we're going to hop our feet in between our hands. 1, 2, hop 3. Stick that landing. Roll yourself up. Scoop those abs in. Straighten the legs. Stack the spine. Open the chest. Take an inhale. Exhale, peel down from the crown of the head, the upper back, the mid back. Bend your knees before you hit the low back. Relax your head and neck. Eyes on the thighs. Inhale. And exhale. Roll yourself up, keeping your weight forward slightly. And then restack the spine. Open the chest. Inhale. Exhale, roll down. Thanking your body, either to yourself or out loud. And exhale, roll up. Thanking your body for all the hard work that it has done for you today. Inhale at the top. And exhale. Feeling that energy all the way through the body. And exhale, scoop those abs in, healing yourself up, stacking your spine, feeling that support from the back of the knees, even weight between the inside and the outside, the front and back of the feet, feeling that pelvic floor lifted, the rib cage lifted, the pressure taken off of that low back, the chest open, the head stacked in line with gravity, taking that pressure off of the cervical spine. Grow an inch taller. And you guys are done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that's what you needed.